Good evening, I'm the Game Tutor, and tonight we're going to be looking at Bombslinger, a brand new game hitting the Switch this April from indie developers Mode 7 that's been out on Steam for a little while. Now, I can describe Bombslinger in one sentence, and that's Binding of Isaac crossed with Bomberman. Now, this is definitely a good thing, as Bomberman is a good game, and Bombslinger takes key elements of both of those games and creates a fun little roguelike, though not without its faults. Now, you play an outlaw from the Wild West that, upon seeing his house burnt down and his wife murdered, goes on a quest of revenge, blowing everything up in his path. Progression in the game works just like Bomberman, where you start with a single bomb that's capable of hitting a single tile in each of the four main directions, and you can level up things such as your speed, number of bombs you can lay at any time, and the number of tiles your bombs hit. Now, these power-ups, as well as a few other items, can be acquired as you travel through the game, and this can also unlock further items and objects that come with you when you start. Now, this roguelike element comes into play, so that as you go through the game, each time you start a new run, you should hopefully have something that you didn't previously to help it go more smoothly. Now, like Binding of Isaac, each room you enter can have chests, fire, shops, and enemies in some combination. And if there are enemies to be found, you must kill all of them in order to progress. Somewhere on each level is a boss, and defeating this boss gets you to the next level. If you lose all your hearts, however, it's game over and you have to start again, albeit, as I said, you do sometimes carry over certain items. Now, there are also special abilities that use spirit, which regains over time. This is all sounding to get very familiar. Learning the patterns of enemies is not too much trouble, and the bosses are quite a bit harder, but overall the enemy variety is good and keeps the game interesting as you progress. There are a few enemies, however, that are a bit of a pain to kill, and there are some that are almost impossible to kill without taking damage if at that point in the game you had not unlocked the requisite ability or range to kill them whilst avoiding getting hit yourself. And this is a really good example of one of Bombslinger's biggest issues, and that's its overall balance of design and difficulty curve. Power-ups, however, do not really come fast enough, and therefore it's not quite the level of variety found in a game like The Binding of Isaac, and this does hurt the game, as unlike Isaac, where a run would be vastly different, sometimes even a few rooms in, every run in Bombslinger feels largely very similar, and more is needed at a faster pace in order to pep things up. There's also a local 4-player traditional Bomberman style mode that sees players battle it out in those all too familiar grid-based arenas. It works well, and the slight different idea of working towards frags rather than last man standing is novel, but as with the main game, more overall variety would be needed in order to really make it stand out. Now, don't get me wrong, Bombslinger is a good game, but with a few tweaks it could be a great game, and I do look forward to seeing how the game progresses with any future updates as we go through the year. If you've enjoyed tonight's video, please like and subscribe. Remember to come and check us out at thegametutor.co.uk, where news, articles and videos are updated on a weekly basis. Also, please check us out on Twitter, Facebook and Dailymotion.